Hey, movie lovers, just a reminder, be kind, rewind, and have a totally awesome night.
Remember when Friday nights meant the video store? Cam and Kobe are bringing it all back. The smell of popcorn, the hum of neon lights, those covers with artwork so rad, it didn't matter what was actually on the tape. And yeah, those late fees you kept hidden from your parents. Because those movies weren't just rentals, they were your childhood in the making. This is Raised by VHS.
Welcome to Raised by VHS, proudly paying late fees since the 80s. Let's pop this tape, adjust the dragon. Dim the lights, Cam. We got a staff recommended pick for you this evening.
We do.
From you.
And this is from me.
Yeah.
And a good time of the year to watch it, right?
Oh, it's perfect. Spooky season has begun.
There's so many movies to watch.
Yeah.
And I think this is one that you should pop in that old tape player.
Yeah, revisit.
Yeah, you should. So today's film is it's another all-time classic. Like most people have seen this. Mm-hmm. But this was my pick. This is the Arachnophobia.
The Arachnophobia.
Yeah, Arachnophobia.
Okay.
So let's get into this. So this movie, Arachnophobia, was released July 18th of 1990.
1990.
And it was directed by Frank Marshall. And
This came out about
on
the
him
same
later.
time as Days of Thunder.
It did.
Real close.
A lot of these, there's a lot that started coming out around this.
This must have been just like a good time for us right here.
Movies,
9 years old.
Probably when I was watching a lot more movies.
Yeah.
When I really got into it.
Yep.
Directed by Frank Marshall.
Yeah.
And this was actually his debut.
Yeah, this is
first director.
First directorial, just himself.
Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah.
Tagline: 8 legs, 2 fangs, and an attitude.
Oh.
Distributed by Hollywood Pictures and Amblin Entertainment. Another one that, what's his name had his hand in? Spielberg.
Yeah,
Steven Spielberg, which is, I did not know that.
I'll talk about it a little bit later because I can kind of feel see his influence here and there. Yeah.
Total box office gross, $53 million.
$53 million.
The film received generally favorable reviews from critics. It has a certified fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes, generally favorable rating on Metacritic, 67, and 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb.
Okay, so not bad.
No, it's not bad.
Not bad.
I actually thought it would be a little bit better than that, but I guess not. And then awards at the 1991 Saturn Awards, the film won Best Horror Film and Best Actor, Jeff Daniels.
Saturn Awards, huh? Is that the car manufacturer
That's what I was thinking. That's the very thing I thought when I saw that. I was like, that's the car.
That's the car.
I don't know, man, and we'll talk more about John Goodman, but how did he not get some kind of award for this?
Well, it might
he didn't have a very big role, but I'm like,
a small role.
Like some random little award place should have given him something.
You would think so. Maybe they did.
I'm not saying like Academy Award, but I'm just saying like one of those Nickelodeon or something.
A Slime Award or something like that. I'm sure they had something like that going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the movie basics, if you haven't seen it, new species of South American killer spider hitches a lift to California town in a coffin. Yeah. The arachnid mates with a native spider, resulting in a swarm of highly venomous offspring. The escalating crisis falls into the hands of a newly arrived doctor, Ross Jennings, played by Jeff Daniels, who ironically suffers from intense arachnophobia.
That's not good.
No.
If you didn't know, arachnophobia is the fear of spiders.
Yeah.
By the way.
And it's the craziest thing. Like, craziest, creepiest spider, and this guy's already scared of him.
Yep.
He must overcome his debilitating fear to save his family and the town from a deadly infestation.
Yeah.
It's great. Doctor has to figure it out, has to save his family.
Yep.
And the movie is like a blend of horror, comedy, and suspense, sometimes referred to as a thrill-omedy.
Thrill-omedy.
It's a great, I hadn't either. I've seen that like several times looking through
researching
what people were saying. It's like thrill-omedy.
Yeah.
It's a creature feature that plays on a very common fear, using mostly real spiders to create genuinely creepy and unsettling atmosphere. After watching it, man, I did feel unsettled.
Yes.
Like in my house, just like in the basement, like I was like, there are spiders everywhere. We just can't see them.
We've got to burn everything down.
Terrifies me.
Yeah.
So as a kid seeing this movie, that was just it. Like I remember, like spiders have never been one of my biggest fears. Like they bother me. Looking at pictures of them, even kind of like it just gives you the creeps. But after seeing this, like I was pretty scared of everything. I was like, they're under my covers, they're under my pillow, they're in the light, they're in everything. Because that's what this movie like thrived on, was putting like different shots in all of like where we live, like in all of our things, in our food, in the on the
Yep.
toilet. Ugh. So I remember that creeping me out and having kind of a hard time getting over it after I saw it.
Oh, dude, yes. I had the same thing. So I remember seeing this. I watched it on VHS with my uncle, who was less than a year older than me, more like a cousin, right? And I watched it and I'm like, oh, that's kind of creepy and scary. And I really didn't think it. I was like,
Yeah.
no big deal. I'm tough. It's probably like 10 or 11 or
Yeah.
something. Until that night when I got in bed and I was like,
That's what's weird. It's set in.
yeah, you just started thinking about the movie and the creepy crawlies, and I kid you not, for the next 5 to 10 years, I like every time I got in bed, it
Yeah.
was this thing like, is there spiders? I'd like lift up my covers, make sure there was no spiders.
Yeah.
And then I remember being like 10 years old and dreaming of like, if I could just like sleep in this plastic bubble that like I knew no spiders could get in, I would sleep so much better. Like I
I
remember
remember thinking of stuff like that.
yeah.
I think this is one of those movies for sure that after you see it, you will never forget it.
No, yeah,
It
you
is not
can't.
one that I've ever forgotten. Like haven't seen it in a long time, but I still remembered scenes of it because
yeah.
they burn a hole in part of your brain,
They really do, don't they?
the fear center.
Yeah.
But even at like, and I do remember at home, like my dad making me like crawl under, like we had like a crawl space to get camping gear, and I'm like, they're everywhere in here.
Yes.
And one of my biggest like, and this was after the movie. I remember we were swimming in the canal and there's a big culvert that we wouldn't want to go down because we were like, I think it's full of spiders. And I remember going down and laying down in the raft and looking up, and it was like, I felt like I was in the jungle because it was the thickest amount of spider webs I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. So
Dude,
this
it's
movie,
funny.
it pulls back a memory. If you see a spider web, you'll think about this movie.
Yeah, you will. It's so funny you say canal because we had a canal behind our house too, and we would always go build like those little minnow traps. Did you ever build those with like 2-liter bottles?
No, I never did.
So you could build a minnow trap. The minnows would swim. Anyways, it was stupid. You were like 10 years old. What else are you gonna do? So we had a bridge, and so you would go on. That was the best place to catch them. But you get under that bridge and it was infested.
Yeah, it's
like
crazy.
just everywhere. And I couldn't do it. I had to have my uncle. I was like, I'll stay out here.
It is.
I'll
It's
be the
gross.
watch out. I couldn't do it.
And they're thick. Like you can't even see through the web. It's like,
Yeah.
is there rats or dogs or cats wrapped up in there?
Is there like a missing person up in there somewhere? Yeah.
We sent a tumbleweed down once, like a big one that like, just kind of drug along the top, and it came out looking like a spider egg. Like it was so covered,
like
in
the
them.
pulsating spider sacks in the movie.
Yeah, and that's a disturbing scene.
It definitely is.
But yeah, so the other thing is, moving on to the cast. So there isn't a lot of big actors or well-known actors. I left the wife out. She's actually pretty well known. But mainly, Jeff Daniels as Dr. Ross Jennings, Joss Rennings, John Goodman as Delbert McClintock.
Yep.
I didn't know his last name was McClintock. That's
It's
cool.
a great last name, though.
And then Julian Sands as Dr. James Atherton.
Now, what's he been in? can't even think.
So I remember just the cover. He was in Warlock. Do you remember the cover? He has,
yes,
because he has kind of a creepy look to him.
He does. Yeah, he's kind of warlock.
So did you know he
elf
was the
looking.
guy that died in 2022 when that storm hit California? He was hiking and disappeared. It was him that died.
Really?
Yeah, he passed away like on the mountain. They lost him.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That
I was
is
like,
kind of crazy.
but he's been in kind of some random things.
Warlock. That is I do remember that.
That's
cover.
the picture I always remember. Seeing.
Yep.
He's been in a lot of horror movies.
Huh. Interesting. I like that.
Horror, HORROR.
HORROR.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
But yeah, that's the main cast. I thought that the one entomologist that he was actually really good.
The other
dude,
guy
the
with the
younger
glasses
guy.
on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I've seen him in other things too.
Yeah, I have too. The skinny,
but I
kinda
can't remember.
dark skinned dude.
So, but yeah, I mean, this was like your main cast here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I guess we'll just break down the movie, right?
Let's do it. Yeah, let's go for it. Let's break
So
this
the
sucker
film
down.
starts in the Venezuelan jungle, and it's a long intro.
It is.
So scientists stumble across a new, highly aggressive spider species with a deadly bite. When one of these spiders sneaks into the coffin after it kills its victim, is unknowingly shipped to the U.S. The stage is set for a chilling nature versus civilization invasion.
Yeah, so the beginning of this, like you said, it's a pretty long kind of intro that's like almost separate from the rest of the film.
It is
in a way, but I love it, man. This was shot on location in Venezuela.
Yeah. And it's the first time they'd ever filmed in that location.
Yeah,
and
it is incredible.
It's amazing looking.
Holy crap! Like I was looking at those waterfalls and like that big hole.
I can't believe it's that big, that deep. I was like, is this Avatar?
It does kind of seem Avatar.
It didn't seem natural.
Yeah, but I just love the location. I love the setup. I love kind of like the huge sort of scale that they start with.
Yeah,
because then it like breaks down to like this one tiny little town.
Yeah,
right. It starts kind of worldwide.
It makes the whole spider thing so much better because it's like they came from a very like unique area that you would never have anywhere else.
Yeah, and I saw on some behind the scenes making of it, they were 4 weeks shooting that opening segment.
That's what I saw
Venezuela.
That too.
Holy crap!
They said like because of the like it was like 10,000 feet, so the clouds kept rolling in, and they would get like trapped for a while,
and they'd have like an hour to shoot a day sometimes because of the weather.
I saw that too,
and I was thinking like, why don't they do this more often now? Now it's like, oh, we're gonna shoot this on green screen, and then
always.
Because it just looks so awesome, you know, and that's why, because it took 4 weeks to get like 5 minutes of film. You know what I mean? But it was cool. It's a cool little segment, I think, right?
So the thing is, when they're flying in on the helicopter, it has the entomologist, the Dr. Atherton, and then this guy that's been hired to take pictures, right? And he like does sports, I think. Yeah. He's dressed so ridiculous. I don't know why they bring this like photographer in that looks like he is completely lost and clumsy. And he dresses like an idiot.
I know. Well, it's like I don't understand that part of the story because they could have just said he was a photographer that actually did wildlife photography or something.
Yeah,
right?
No, he's like, but I thought he like referred to sports, right?
Yeah, I think something like that.
So,
I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, the guy looks like he was gonna die. Some way or another in this area,
and he already had a fever coming in for some reason. Like he was already sick, right? Yeah. So it was kind of interesting.
Yeah. There's one scene where that made me laugh. They're looking at the map of the area, and it is the biggest map I have ever seen. Like they're sitting in the back of the helicopter, and he's like, "This is where we're going." I was like, "Is that the whole map of the world?"
It reminded me of those big rugs for kids that are like a town map, but it's gigantic.
Yeah, it's like it's huge.
Yeah, what are they doing? Like this is the entire Western Hemisphere.
We're gonna be on this pin. It's like, oh, you don't have a blown up map of the area.
Yeah, I love it though because they've got like some local guides, right, that are taking them around to get them to this specific place.
Yep.
You know, and he's got the weird looking dude with the bowl cut that really fancy bowl cut and the face makeup. But he's like, this is as far as he'll go.
I know.
And you know that's not good.
I was like in every movie, right?
Yeah.
It's like if the people that have lived there for centuries are telling you they're not going any further, you don't want to go.
You just stop. That's where
especially a clumsy dork of a photographer.
A Dolphins fan nonetheless, right? But yeah, I just
he did have a Dolphins hat on.
A Dolphins hat on, yeah.
From California.
Yeah, from California.
He's from California.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah, but I think it'd be a Niners hat or something.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. But yeah, I just thought that was funny. He won't go any further. We got to do it.
Yeah.
You know? And then they get down in that down in the hole or whatever, and they have these gigantic trees.
Yeah.
And then they like start spraying, like he had this like gigantic like fog gun thing. I don't know what it was, but
I don't either. I saw him like hoisting it down in one of the scenes. I'm just like, geez, the biggest fogger ever built.
Looked like a laser gun from a sci-fi movie or something. Like, why is it so big?
And I love how like the like that's the only sound that it cuts to, and it's like it sounds like a
sump
modified car that they put with something on the exhaust.
It is, yeah. But he shoots it up into this tree, and then they've set up like all these catch devices at the bottom, and then there's bug rain.
I always found that as a kid pretty cool.
Oh, it was way cool.
I was like, that's an awesome idea. Just catch a bunch of bugs in a funnel, and it's like going down into a mason jar.
Yeah, but I'm like, can you imagine being underneath that with all them disgusting like spiders and bugs?
Yep, same thing.
No, thank you.
Creeped me out thinking of like, there's no way you would cover yourself good enough to not feel like something was getting in your shirt.
I couldn't do it. I'd have to have like a bug net over my entire body.
Yeah,
it was through that, right?
Yeah, it was funny. The one thing that he said I thought was pretty funny is when there was like looking at the species, and he's like, "We'll call it Photus manly," which is the guy's name, and like
it's pretty funny. It really is.
They're poking fun at him.
Yeah, and there was a jumping spider. Do you remember that the freaking jumping spider at one point down there? Like that. No.
The one that jumps onto the little cart thing there.
I can't
when
remember.
they're hauling the gear out.
I think there's a couple of them.
Yeah.
There's so many spiders in this, it's hard to remember which one is
Yeah.
what. But I made the note, effing jumping spider, because it just when a spider jumps, it's like a new level of fear.
Yeah.
Like crawling's one thing.
Yeah, and
coming down on his butt rope.
There's
is
a
one
lot of
thing.
jumping spiders in this, and that's true. You don't see that a lot, right?
I don't.
You hope
think
it doesn't
so.
happen.
Please tell me that's not a normal thing that's happening all the time.
The one thing too, so yeah, the jumping spider jumps on and they take the gear over, but the guy, when he gets bit, it's always like this close up, super gruesome, like juicy bite.
Yeah.
You know, and that scene alone is probably the one that sits with me the worst because it's like it crawls up under his covers and it looks like a cat.
Yeah,
like it's like moving the whole blanket.
like there's a huge animal underneath there.
And then he reaches down, he's like looking under and it bites him. And it's a close up shot of the spider and its fangs are all like covered in blood. It's like, but
it's gross. And then he's like has instant death basically.
The most dramatic death. This is one that my brother and I would do all the time.
Oh, really?
We would just be in sleeping bags or on bunk beds and we'd be like, ow, what was that? And then we'd be like,
I can't tell if he's trying to yell.
Yeah.
Like, is he trying to yell?
That's true. I guess he could be.
Or is he gagging? Like, I can't figure out what's
I
going on.
don't know either, but he's like,
he's dying.
He does it a few times and then he just kind of lays down and takes a nap.
And then he has the blood trickle out his mouth.
It does trickle out his mouth.
And they find him, and then they're like, well, homeboy died, but they assumed it was because of this previous fever that he had gotten from a Dolphins game or something. And so then they just build him a nice little coffin.
Yeah.
A wooden coffin.
Very nice wooden coffin.
Yeah. It just seems odd.
Well,
like
it's not nice, but it's like
it's wooden.
It looks like a picket, like
substantial.
A fence.
Yeah. It just seems like to me, let's put him in a bag of some sort, not this open air coffin that they've built with holes all over in it. We're gonna put this into a plane and fly him back to California.
That's what like. They hauled that gigantic laser gun fogger.
Yeah.
And then they have to ship him down the Amazon River or wherever, the
boat.
Venezuelan river.
Yeah.
I was like, man, you think with the helicopter and all the gear that they hauled in, they would at least take the body out on a helicopter.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know it's kind of weird,
but that's
so yeah. But that was that was like you felt like the whole movie was done at that point. But then it shows Dr. Ross Jennings and his wife show up in Canaima, isn't that?
Canaima,
Canaima, that's what it was, which is a made up town. Canaima, California.
But it was filmed in a town that has almost the same name. I can't remember what it was. It was a really similar name.
Oh, okay. I was wondering where they got that name.
In California.
And then Ross, they came here to kind of dream of a slower life and something more calm. And it was agreed that he would start a practice with the doctor there, or take over the practice.
Yeah, he had a deal in place.
Yes.
Right?
And he wasn't immediately thrilled to be there, but that's what they were going to do. And so...
And she was a stockbroker. Like, she was making...
They gave up their job to go to the small town.
He was making monies, and now they're just like, we're going to go live with the spiders.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now they've shown up in the town, and you kind of get a sense that they're not city people, or they're not rural people. They're from the city
people. Yes.
But the funeral, the funeral home. And it shows you the body show up there at the funeral home, and it's pretty intense.
Well, yeah, and this funeral home guy, this overweight kind of weirdo that I only know from a Seinfeld episode. That's why he's like, how is that guy so familiar to me? But he was in a Seinfeld
I've seen him in
episode.
some other stuff too, yeah.
Yeah. But he's a funeral guy, and he's coming in, he's eating like a sandwich, right? And so they're pulling the top off of this, Venezuelan-made coffin, and he puts his sandwich down just like on the counter. Which it's the most disgusting thing I can think of, almost. In a morgue, you just set your sandwich down on the counter.
Yeah, he's always eating too, this guy.
Yeah.
It's weird that they didn't wrap the body so it wouldn't slide around in the coffin.
It's just in the wood.
It's just sitting in there, and it's a hideous looking body.
Yeah, and then it starts to give you glimpses of this spider that comes out, right? But it's usually just like its legs underneath a table or something. It's like gigantic legs coming under the table, or it's like a shadow of the spider coming around.
Yeah,
right?
They did a lot of shadow shots.
I think it was kind of cool because it does really up the tension a bit, because you're like, God, that spider's going to be huge, man.
Yeah,
it does. Know what I mean? And then it shows the dead photographer, and he looks like a zombie. He literally looks like a zombie.
Or an alien.
He
does not look like a human body.
Like he's like blue,
that
green.
spider was feasting on every juice he had in his body.
It was a long flight from Venezuela in that thing, man.
Yeah.
But then this I love the part where the spider's going out. And for some reason, they have a doggy door, right?
At the morgue.
At the morgue. But the dog comes in and comes face to face with the spider and just takes off. Nope. And then a cat comes around the corner face to face with the spider. Nope. They all go out the doggy door. The dog, the cat, the spider.
I never realized that. It does. It crawls out
It
there.
goes right out the doggy
And then
door.
as soon as it leaves, the bird picks it up.
A bird, yeah. A bird. And
Drops it
It's like a
right.
big old crow.
Yeah.
And it doesn't drop it because it gets bit
That's
midair. The freaking spider kills it, and then it drops underneath it onto the ground right at the...
So I think that particular spider species does eat birds, which is crazy to me. But not that big of a bird.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
But yeah, it just drops dead, like in the grass as the Jennings are moving in and you kind of meet them.
Yep.
But it's funny, the kid, this part always creeped me out as the kid's so close to that spider. He goes and grabs his baseball by the dead bird, and there's a spider right there.
He's like, Dad, there's a dead bird. Don't touch it.
There's a lot of those close calls in this movie that I'm like, ugh, they're going to get bit.
Well, I mean, I think Frank Marshall does a great job of upping the tension.
He
and
did
the
a great job, I
suspense
thought. Yeah.
and that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But then, but I had to mention that Jeep Cherokee that they have.
Oh, yeah.
With like the fake wood. I want it so bad.
That, man, was that truck not in like a ton of 90s movies? That style?
Yeah, it was.
I remember there's a lot of like family featured films that had like
a lot of times it was like the Jeep Wagoneer.
That's
So
what
it
I'm
was
thinking.
the bigger version.
That's what I'm thinking.
This was the Cherokee.
Or an AMC Eagle.
Yeah,
is
they
the
had
other
those
thing.
two. Yeah, but man, it was just cherry, man, freaking cherry.
That's true. All those old ones that you want now.
Yeah,
they
because it was
look
like
so nice.
perfect condition, like 1990 or something. Cherokee was so good. But then, like they go inside, and the son's like, "Hey, or was a son or the daughter? I don't remember. Hey, there's a spider."
Yeah, they
You know?
scream or something.
Yeah, and then he has to ask his wife. I mean, this obviously
This
makes,
one is showing you that he's terrified of spiders.
Yeah, he's got arachnophobia, right? But I'm like, again, as a man, doesn't matter how scared I am, I cannot ask my wife to come in and kill a spider.
Yeah.
You can't.
Well, because she doesn't kill a spider.
No, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
like,
know.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Like, I just,
I know.
I have too much
You
pride.
feel pretty embarrassed.
I would just die with fear instead of having her come and do it, probably.
Yeah, that's
You know?
true. So yeah, the Venezuelan spider makes its home there on the farm, and it breeds with that very spider that his wife did not kill,
Yep.
creating a deadly hybrid that spreads silently through the countryside. As the infestation grows, its presence lurks in the background. Attics, barns, corners of homes, ratcheting up the suspense. That's the part that I don't like, is you see these little things crawling everywhere or under. Like, I did read that the director wanted to get as many like people in the same shot as the spider to make it just more disturbing. Because, you know, it's like you see him crawling on the ground, but when you're like, there's people right there nearby, it's way worse.
It's always like, yeah, they set something down or pick something up or turn a light
They're always
on
in the
or
same
off.
shot as a human, which
They're
is
just,
pretty
like,
cool.
right there, man. Ooh.
But yeah, that mating scene was kind of awkward.
Dude, it was so weird because the Jennings, there's like this sort of scene where
There's two mating scenes, I guess.
Yeah,
I should
there's
say.
like all in one.
Yeah.
Like the Jennings they're in their first night in their new home or whatever, and they're like, we're gonna have sex, right? They're gonna make love. But then it cuts from them to the two spiders sort of like touching
fangs.
touching fangs or
Or their legs.
their legs, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
And this thing is that spider's huge, and the other one is like
Yeah.
a house spider, and all of a sudden it's kind of bigger.
Gonna get dominated.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. There's
So yeah, it breeds and creates this hybrid that's like
Yep.
normal house spider now with venom in it,
Yeah.
which is kind of creepy.
that is a funny scene though, where they're just both
Yeah, my wife was watching with us, and she was just like, oh, this one.
so
I was like,
weird
this is
scene.
a real awkward scene.
And then, like, so he finds out, he goes and meets with the town doctor, right? That's supposed to be retiring, that's supposed to be handing over his practice to him. He's like, I decided not to. And he's like, bro,
Yeah.
I moved to town,
Moved all the way here.
I bought a house, here I am, and now you're telling me that I don't have patience and I don't have
And he's a
practice.
jerk about it.
Oh, he's a huge jerk about
You
it.
can tell me not to, basically.
Well,
What did
you
he say?
told me already I was
He's like,
coming.
my wife's not going to convince me, and you sure as hell ain't.
Yeah. It's like, well, then why did you tell me, dumbass, that I could come here?
Yeah.
Right?
It's pretty crappy.
God, and then he goes outside and he starts to get a parking ticket. in the
The
process.
most annoying guy that plays the
Oh, yeah.
sheriff. That guy's super annoying.
He is pretty annoying. But then
he
meets the lady though that's sort of championing him as the new doctor. You know, I think is this where she's like, you have one patient,
yeah.
right? I think
Yeah,
that's
she like
her.
rushed in. She's
Yeah.
like, I want to pass from here next week.
Yeah.
I was
I'm
like,
waiting.
I don't know why she was so like,
Yeah, she was very.
I really want to get you up and going.
I don't think she liked the current doctor or something.
He did do a physical on her, so
Yes.
maybe that's what she was looking for.
Maybe that's what it was. But then
No.
she also like.
But she didn't. She didn't care for him.
She told the cop like screw you and just like rips up the ticket, throws it.
And then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you for littering," and then they just walk off.
They just walk. Yeah, but it's awesome to kind of set up like how. You know, it's got a couple of douchebags in town. Him and the doctor.
The town's kind of stubborn.
Yeah, they're stubborn and they're kind of idiots, but also like set in their ways. And yeah, I thought it was kind of funny. And then he goes back to the Jennings home, and the wife, I think it's the wife, is out looking in the barn.
She is. Yep.
And she sees
The biggest spider web on the planet, and she's
My
like,
gosh.
"No, it's normal."
big. No
That's not
big-
why she calls the exterminator either.
No, it's not.
It's like that's fine.
Yeah. Oh, we got giant
She took
spiders.
pictures of it too, and puts it in the office eventually in the movie.
She does.
which I thought was weird.
Yeah. But yeah, man, those are gigantic. And
Yeah,
you're just like no
I
biggie.
would that barn, man. If I saw all those spider webs, I'd probably just burn it down.
Yeah.
Or I
Yeah.
don't know what.
They're like small ropes. They're so thick. You know
it's
what I
like a
mean?
jungle gym up there.
What's happening?
Yeah,
It's
and
not
she's
good.
fascinated with it and takes some pictures.
Yeah, and then we get the neighbor girl who's kind of creepy in her own
She
right.
kind of is a little bit.
Something about her eyes are too close together or something. I don't know.
She's a fugly little girl.
She's a little fugly. You're right. But she comes knocking on the door, and the kids go out and play. I love the line where he's like, "Yeah, I bet you they're gonna go chase fireflies or something." And then it switches to them running outside, and the girl's like, "Want to go blow up a bullfrog?"
It's like soup. Is there
Yeah.
bullfrogs in
California?
Yeah,
Probably. I don't
I
know.
don't know. Anyway,
But
yeah,
it almost didn't feel like a California. It almost felt like a southern.
that's what
town,
I thought too.
right?
I
but
always thought the whole time. I'm like, I forget they're in California.
they're in California, but it feels like the South.
It does.
For some
I don't know
reason.
why it does, but it does.
Yeah. And then you get a view of that pulsating egg sac, which is so disgusting.
I forgot they show you that pretty early too.
Yeah, and as a kid, that was one of those images I could not get out of my
It's
mind.
gross to think it's just full of baby spiders, and it's like,
Yeah. And-
bubbling.
Yeah, the little baby spiders, and like at this point, I noted when I was watching it again this last week that like I just felt the creepy crawlies on me constantly. I couldn't get rid of it. I was just like, I had a little tag that kept touching the back of my neck, and it was freaking me
Well,
out.
shortly, or is it in the same? Like when they show the egg sac, it starts to show the little spiders all kind of coming
ground.
out from the barn, and it's like, holy crap, there's tons of them.
My gosh.
Yeah, so that part is pretty gross.
It really is. And then we've got the lady puts on like
a little party to kind of get him acquainted with people, right?
And then we get another Happy Gilmore's grandma shows up again.
I didn't realize that.
Do you know?
When I saw your notes, I was like, that was her.
That was her.
She's the
back.
doctor's wife, right?
She's a doctor's wife.
Yeah.
Same age. Same age.
She is. She's been
Right?
the same age.
She was in
All
Karate
these
Kid.
movies.
She was in Karate Kid. She was now in this one. We're gonna have to do like a little count.
That's going to be the conspiracy of our podcast.
I
is
know.
that all the films there's a certain actor that you didn't know was there.
You didn't know it was there.
Nah, he spoiled it.
Yeah, but that's her.
Yeah,
She's
that's
back,
funny.
right? And then they're all having like some weird conversations with the town folk, and one was saying how they got a job because somebody in his family or something works somewhere, and she's like, "Oh, nepotism, huh?" Like, no, actually, we're Baptists.
Yeah, that part was
funny name, funny little line. I thought
that was funny,
yeah.
and there's always like that weird couple in town too. I mean, this town seems like it has quite a bit of them, but the coroner, Irv, is like running off with cookies in his wife, which is the lady from the Drew Carey show.
The Drew Carey show. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's her. Yeah, she doesn't really say much.
She
but
doesn't
she's
say
just
much,
sort of,
but they're like weirdly obsessed with food.
Oh yeah, because after the party, they're like
scampering off with
She's
a
like, "Do
big
you
old
need a-
plate of cookies.
Do you need a doggy bag for that? No, we're good.
Yeah,
Just taking
Yeah.
it off with them. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
So now you've got Dr. Jennings made a friend with this lady. What was her name again?
Don't know.
I can't remember.
She died too quick.
But anyways, that's what happens next is she actually dies right after the party. And they kind of suspect it's a heart attack, and he has a little argument with the town doctor about that because he took her off the blood pressure medicine.
Right.
Jennings, he starts to grow suspicious that something doesn't add up. It's like She was healthy. I took her off. Like I did a physical just recently. It doesn't make sense that she just up and died.
She's in her late 60s.
Yeah.
For the 90s.
Yeah.
That's pretty old.
And so more deaths start to occur too, which they start calling him Dr. Death in town because it's like whoever's seen him immediately dies. It's just unfortunate that it works out that way. So the tension builds as the audience is the only one that really sees the culprit lurking nearby, but none of the town really understands what's happening. And also Delbert the exterminator shows up about this point.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. But it's just crazy how big of dicks or buttholes the freaking doctor and the rest of the town are to Dr. Jennings.
They are.
They really are.
Ruthless. Man. You would think a new doctor coming into town, it's like everybody be like
excited.
It's time to move on from this old geezer.
Yeah.
To have a new doctor in town, but they're not accepting of him at all.
He's out there bloodletting people, because of a fever. Let's talk to this guy. And it's funny because, he takes the lady off of blood pressure meds because she just really didn't need them.
No.
Right?
Blood pressure's good. Physical is good.
Yeah, he's like, and that's what he was telling the old doctor. He's like, it wasn't bad. She didn't need it. But he takes her off one day and she dies of a heart attack. It seems a little suspicious anyway. Like, not like that would happen.
Right.
In one
day. And
the
doctor's super, immediately he's like, I'm turning you into the board. I was like,
okay.
What a doof.
Go right ahead. Do it, right?
Yeah.
I just thought that was funny. But then, John Goodman shows up at the house because there's termites.
Yeah.
Or they think that there's termites.
That's right. I forgot. He was like nailing the floor and the nails are going up through the floor. And he's like, what's wrong with this wood?
Yeah, it's just like.
So his wife calls.
His wife calls.
Comes in.
I love when he gets out of his car, though. He just throws like the worst, slobberiest spit out of his mouth the second he just like. Yeah. It's disgusting.
He obviously doesn't care about his image to anybody because of the things he says and does. It's pretty funny.
He's hilarious, dude.
Yeah, he is.
And he goes in there, he's talking to her or him. Oh, it's her.
It's her.
Right, yeah. And he's like, glad you called me. No room for amateurs in this game. In this game. The extermination
I love the
game.
way he talks, too. It's like this. He doesn't get his words all the way out. It's kind of like a muffled
yeah.
I don't know this how
he kind of swallows the end of each word or sentence or something.
He's super funny though.
Yeah. And he's looking at the floor. He's like, would anybody object if I tore this floor out? And she's like, I would.
Yeah.
False alarm then.
Yeah, that part.
It's so funny.
And then she's like, well, what do I do about this bad wood? And he's like, I'll tell you why it's bad. She's like, well, if it's not termites, then what is it? And he's like, I'll tell you why. It's bad wood. Tear out bad wood, put in good wood.
Put in good wood.
It's like, and as he's not paying attention really to what she's saying, he's trying to listen. I like how he says that though. Don't find a thing. Go figure.
Go figure. Yeah.
And then he tells her about the wood. The next scene that it moves to is the coach at the party. He'd actually told him, he was like, I have some work for you. Actually, this had happened. No, this happens. This is one of the deaths.
This is one of the deaths, right?
The coach is like, I got some work for you. This part is probably the most disturbing in the whole,
giving the kids a physical?
Without washing his hands, with all of them standing there. So the coach brings him into the locker room and he's like, all right, everybody drop your trousers. And Coach Jennings is like, or not Coach Jennings, Dr. Jennings looks at him just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And he's just feeling each of them, looking him in the eye.
I know.
Just moving down the line.
Did you notice?
It's like he doesn't wash his hands. It's like nut to nut.
Nut to nut. And he goes to the next kid about halfway through is like this huge, tall black kid, and he looks up at him.
Kind of like
reaches down. Like, what is that?
I noticed that too.
I'm like, okay. But yeah, I love the shot where it's just going down on floor level and you just see all their boxers around their ankles and him just walking. Like,
I'm like, this is messed up.
Yeah.
Pretty messed up.
I don't think I've ever had a physical that way for any sport. We always had to go in separately to get our physicals.
Yeah, no. Yeah. That wasn't the work that he wanted. It's not like any of them are going to pay for it either.
I know.
It's like, how's that going to work out?
Yeah, was this like $5 a physical or something? Like he's making some big money there.
Yeah.
And then he just stays to watch practice.
Yeah, he does. He's like,
just
saw all your nuts and watch practice.
Yeah, I want to see how these
nuts
It is
kind of weird why he stays there. This
Yeah.
is probably the worst death of all of them. You know, it's like a young kid.
Yeah,
the spider crawls in his helmet and he puts it on and he dies. And that part's pretty crappy.
Mid-play.
Yeah.
Mid-play,
As
man.
he's about to get tackled.
Yeah, so he gets tackled.
And again,
after
they're
he's
like, oh no, had a heart attack probably.
Yeah, it's not good. But there had been some discussion. I can't remember I think he was talking with the coach. He's like, speaking of that, I haven't heard any crickets lately. It was kind of like some foreshadowing of like these freaking
There's a lot of
spiders.
crickets in this town. It's like, I haven't heard any crickets.
Heard any, right?
Yeah, that part was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Never caught that before.
And then we get to the old doctor's
The good death
home. The good
of the
death.
movie.
The one where you feel a little vindicated, like, yeah, he died. So he's walking on his treadmill, talking to
He's all grumpy.
Happy Gilmore's grandma
Yep.
is in bed reading a book, right?
Yeah.
He's all grumpy, yeah, and he gets down and
This is another one where I checked my shoes for like months on end to make sure there wasn't a spider in there.
he had bare feet.
Or if something pokes you, you're always like, it's a spider.
That's a freaking
and it's a
spider.
stick or something.
Yeah. Or sometimes if I didn't look, I would push my foot in so hard that it would squish anything that was in there. Like I would really push some pressure. I'm like, I'm not worried.
That's true.
That's squished. But yeah, he puts it on and gets bit.
Yeah.
And so
It must have been a pain. Like it looked super painful.
it
in
did
that
totally
scene.
did. Yeah, and then it goes scurrying off. She's like, "Oh, it's just a spider." And he's like, "Spider felt like a damn cougar." Like a damn cougar.
And then I thought, like, I mean, people can have seizures and not be unconscious, but it's just
Right.
kind of like weird that he jumped. He's like, I'm having a seizure.
Yeah,
I'm like, most people aren't conscious during this.
They're not going to tell you what's
And
happening.
they called Jennings. But I think the one thing that I thought was funny is when she calls and he gets off the phone and he's like, I got to go over to see him. Dr. Metcalf's having a seizure. And she's all, thank goodness you didn't see him this morning. Didn't examine him this morning.
It's a good thing,
Little
actually.
stab at him, yeah.
Yeah.
But I also find it funny that this is when, the doctor died and they just immediately start a new practice that's busy.
Oh, yeah.
But the wife's hanging up the pictures and one of them is that big barn web.
Yeah, just
I
put
was
it in
like,
there.
who would like to see that?
Yeah, I don't really want spiders.
It plays into the, movie.
It makes
but-
sense. It works for the plot line and
Yeah.
stuff. But then like the kids are going
Then he's all paranoid about spiders, right?
For sure.
So he tells his family, like, be careful.
careful.
And his daughters are going
friggin'
to that.
Spideys. Yeah, this was daughter goes to the weird neighbor girl's house for a sleepover.
Yeah.
And it's just a creepy sleepover, to be honest with you. I
I mean,
like
who
it.
makes the itsy bitsy spider like song creepy?
I
Itsy
know.
bitsy spider.
Like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
If I
That
was in
creepy
that
girl.
house, I'd be like, no. Go home.
She does look like a little hillbilly
She
girl.
does,
That's
yeah.
why it does seem like it's south.
something weird about her, right? I don't know.
Yep.
She's a redhead too. She has no soul, so that doesn't help. But yeah, they're singing Itsy Bitsy Spider and stuff, and like they like squish a spider accidentally, luckily, with a book or something that they threw down. But then,
I think it's like as they're leaving.
yeah, exactly. It shows this doll.
Yeah.
What is going on?
I know.
With,
There's much more going on in this town than just the spiders.
they shows this doll, eyes closed on the doll, slowly.
Yeah, they like lay the doll down and
Yes.
it's and it's just sitting there with its eyes if it was that toy would just open up as you tip it back.
Yeah.
But
And the eyes open.
so,
The eyes slowly open.
as the spider's falling onto it, the eyes slowly open. I'm like, what a weird scene, but it's a cool scene.
It's cool. It's creepy. It's all
But I'm
get
like,
out.
the doll's possessed too?
What's going on? What is happening here?
I know. That's probably the creepiest part of the whole movie.
That shot that is probably the scariest shot with
I
that
think so.
doll and the spider. No, thank you.
I think so.
No, thank you.
So Jennings' deep-rooted arachnophobia isn't just a character quirk; it becomes central to the narrative as the spiders spread closer to his own family. Like I was saying, he's really paranoid about it. He has no choice but to investigate. Something's up with all these deaths, and there seems to be a coincidence. And after the death of the doctor, he sees the spider bite.
Yes.
And so as he starts to
And I hate the
inspect
way
this,
he touches his damn toes so much after he's dead. Have you noticed?
No, I didn't.
Like he's just like looking at his toes, like touching them and
that
moving
big
them.
toe looks gross
Oh,
too.
it's
Like the
disgusting.
front's got like that big bite on it.
God. Yeah, he just keeps touching him. Like, stop touching his toes, man.
noticed that.
So gross. I wouldn't touch him when he was alive.
Yeah. But yeah, the thing is, this personal terror mirrors the audience's discomfort. Like everybody is starting to get kind of jumpy because they're starting to realize it looks like a spider is tied to all these deaths. I think I don't know, the one guy that gets called in that he's talking to, he's got like the old like country
The bolo.
bolo.
The
Yeah.
bolo tie.
I don't know who that guy is.
Wasn't he he was like some sort of cop, right?
Is he?
Wasn't he?
Is he that, or is he like this health
inspector
or something?
I don't
Anyways, but I just remember one scene. He's like, when they're trying to like find a specimen, the plant
Yes.
touches him in the shoulder, and he's like, "Oh,
Oh yeah.
I was like, everybody's freaked
They're walking
out.
through the house.
Yeah,
Right? Yes.
Everybody's on edge,
Yes.
knowing these spiders could be killing people,
Yeah, for sure.
which makes it even more uncomfortable for everybody. But yeah, this is like also around this point, Dr. Jennings is sleeping in bed, and he sees that hanger.
Yes.
And I
Oh.
remember millions of times that happening to me as a kid. I'm like, is that a big freaking bug crawling up the wall? I just remember the scene sticks out so much because he gets up and he's like going to smash it, and he gets closer and it's just like a hanger.
A hook. Yeah.
That tells you just how paranoid everybody is in the town at this point.
Freaked me out. That scene.
Yeah.
I was like, gosh, stop. What are you doing? You got a little rolled up
because he's slowly
newspaper.
moving towards it and it looks like a big spider.
Yeah, it's horrible, man. Yeah, it is a bad scene. Yeah, and they talk about some things here. It's just, I love the imagery and some of the lines where they're like, they want to quarantine the town, and you're like, what? Could you imagine though, quarantining a town because of spiders?
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, I know.
I actually looked it up. It's never been done before.
Really?
Because I was like, has that actually ever happened?
To have
Because
an insect so deadly or so problematic. You would think with mosquitoes they would maybe do something.
They
like
had
that.
to do it once for a cargo ship that was infested with black widows.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
Really?
But they've never had to do it with a town.
That's gross.
I know, it's super disgusting, but yeah, it's a crazy thing to think about.
That's crazy.
Quarantining a town. I just, this whole thing, whatever's happening here in this town, I would never sleep.
Why would you stay there?
I don't know.
If I was any of those guys and found out, I'd be like, I'm out.
I'm driving away.
Seriously.
We'll call some people.
We're going to go move to the middle of the country.
And you don't even need to move. I will get a motel room 30 miles away. We will call some authority figures that deal with spiders.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's get it figured out.
What do you do? Like, eventually napalm the whole place?
I don't know.
But
I'm sure there are some bug bombs you could blow up somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I would never sleep. It just wouldn't happen.
No.
But then...
then it's showing like these spiders being in more houses
all
than
over the place.
Yeah, the whole town is infected after they're talking about this.
And in this scenario, we get the scene of all scenes. We get the boob
I remember
spider
this scene
scene
as a kid. Yeah.
Yeah, this was a huge scene as a kid, as a 12-year-old, 11-year-old. It was big.
Yeah.
Right? So she, the daughter of, who is it?
It's the coach.
The coach. That's right. The
Coach's
coach.
daughter.
Yeah. She's a teenager. She's in the shower.
Yeah.
And you see the thing, on top of the shower curtain. You see it on the.
It's gross.
It's really bad. And then it jumps on her face, and she doesn't really know.
And there's a web like up by the shower head, and
the webs are just as bad.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but also the dad is taking a Duke in the.
There's a
other
lot
room.
going on right here.
There is.
It's like there's a spider crawling around. The coach that's sitting down to take a deuce.
Mm-hmm.
The daughter's showering, and she has the spider jump on her and go down her. It's just really chaotic and really uncomfortable.
None of it's fun.
It's uncomfortable in different ways.
In lots of different ways. Yeah, but it shows the shot of the spider going right down her cleavage.
Yeah.
And she jumps out, and the dad comes running in, and the brother. And I'm like, man, that is an awkward.
That would be horrible.
Awkward little meeting in the bathroom for that family.
Yeah.
But it's one of those scenes that I think everybody remembers from the movie, right?
But I think what stuck with me more is the fact that the spiders crawling around the toilet.
I know.
So from then on, I'm like,
what
is
do
there
you do?
anything like when I go to campgrounds and poop in those holes? I'm like, there's probably a tarantula down there. It's gonna
for sure.
bite me in the sack or something.
Mountain tarantula,
right in the butt.
Yep,
yeah,
for sure.
I don't like any of that.
That's not very fun, is it?
So then it becomes more serious, obviously, because through this investigation, they're starting to, they know that there's a big problem, and that's when they call in the big dog, Dr. Atherton. And they're like, "You got a problem here. You need to come see what's going on." But also, you get a little relief, a little comedy relief with Delbert. He shows back up to start exterminating some of these spiders, knowing that they're a much more risk now. But the dude is he is super funny at this point. Like, I love all the things that he's trying to kill him with, and like, it gets more intense here.
It really does. I honestly think it was a great choice by Frank Marshall to bring in, because originally the script,
it was going to be a full-on horror movie,
full-on horror creature feature type thing. But he's like, we want to be able to like lighten the tension here and there and keep people like, engaged in a way that's not just like fear.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I think
because it could have been really
Oh.
creepy and not very fun. I don't think it would have stuck with people.
It's not as
much.
fun. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and I think John Goodman's character makes it a little more fun.
Yeah.
But this whole piece here too, they talk so much about black widows because they're like, even a bite from a black widow, and it's black widows and black widows, and I think this is where some of my fear of black widows
because there's a lot around
we
grew up, and you grew up too.
But they talk about it so much in the movie, so I think that's a lot of it. But
makes you think like we actually do have poisonous in a spider running around.
Not good. But some of his lines, some of John Goodman's lines are so freaking good. The one that stuck out to me is where he's like, I will hunt down the alleged arachnid and spritz him to kingdom come. Spritz him to kingdom come. So freaking funny. And he's good in everything.
Yeah.
Right? He's so good, John
He
Goodman.
is. And then they just, they want to rush to the corner's home. I can't remember why they're like going over to his house because of that's where they tie together this guy came back from Venezuela to the coroner's office. That's where the spider his head came out of the coffin.
And I love that scene too. I love like the whole setup because it shows him and his wife and they're getting ready. They're watching Wheel of Fortune, or what are they watching?
Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, he's making popcorn.
Dude, this is such a weird scene. He's like, he's so excited, and he's got this little pink like sweater on,
like button up sweater.
And he's super excited about the popcorn.
Piping hot.
Did you realize how long they like clap? When they sit down to watch it, you can hear them clapping for like ever. They're like,
they're clapping.
I was like, holy crap.
Clapping for the TV show.
Super excited.
But, it's the small things that get you through life.
Yep.
It's some popcorn watching your favorite game show.
So as they're digging into the popcorn bowl, a friggin' spider goes into the popcorn and it looks like her hand. She eats it first.
And it's just like handfuls of popcorn.
Or his hand. Yeah.
Like, I don't know who eats popcorn like that.
Yeah.
But it basically inhales one of the spiders. Right?
Which is a really gross way to die.
It's a horrible way to die.
Get bit in the mouth.
Or in the throat.
Or in the
something.
throat.
Like, who knows where he's getting.
Yeah.
And then.
And I don't know if they, how did the other person die? Like, I'm guessing there's multiple spiders.
Same thing, I think. Yeah. They both just get bit by these spiders, I think. And then everybody shows up, right? John Goodman and.
Yeah,
doctor and the other guy in the bolo tie, whatever he was. I wish I could remember what he was. I didn't pay that much attention. But yeah, they show up and they go in and they see him sitting there.
They're just eyes open.
Oh my gosh.
Still sitting on the couch.
Yeah. And that shot where it goes, it's like this side shot of his head, and it's like 100% a wax figure. It looks so
it's like
bad.
kind of transparent. Like it does not look very good.
Yeah.
But it's gross. It comes out of his nose.
Super gross. It comes out his nose. The spider does, right?
Yeah.
It's a funny shot.
Yeah.
Practical effects though, they work. Especially back then.
That's why I was like, even though it looked kind of crappy, it still wasn't CGI. It was like old school clay and hard work. So pretty cool.
That's right.
There's a part right here too when they leave the house that he's like, the one entomologist kid was like, can we get a map? Delbert's like, you think about buying here?
It's like, no. It's so freaking funny.
About buying here?
You think about buying here?
Yeah. So the infestation at this point hits its peak. It's spread through homes, barns, beds, striking at every place that people feel safe, which is what's really disturbs you the most.
It is.
They're just creeping around. You can see a bunch of shots of them in different places. But this is where it really embraces the mixture of creature feature thrills and popcorn scares. Like
it really does.
When they go back, so the first people to get back to the house is somehow the sheriff and the entomologist. I think that's because he figures out, he sees the shot of the spider web.
Right.
And he's like, where is this at? And the sheriff's like, well, that's the barn that Jennings
It's the Jennings barn.
So they head there. The entomologist is a moron.
He's kind of a moron.
So it's like he's excited to catch this thing, but he goes up and there's this massive web up in the barn, and he looks up and it's like the chimney thing is clear full of spider webs.
Yeah.
What's the stupidest thing to do? Call it toward you.
Yeah, let's get up. And he's like climbed up that ladder, right?
Yeah.
Is get as close as he can.
And it's like cats and rats all wrapped up in the web. It's like, obviously this thing is aggressive and deadly. And he's like, come get some food. He's like, come get supper. And it jumps on him, and it's that slow-mo like camera in his face. And he dies. But I just remember that scene. I'm like, this guy is an idiot.
Doesn't make any sense, especially being
he deserved to die.
Being who he was, he should have known better.
Yeah.
And then the Jennings, I can't remember if he's in his own house. I think he's in his own house at this point, where he's in the living room and there's some spiders on the TV, right? And he just loses his shit. I don't know what he's doing here, but he's like, there's a couple of spiders. I'm throwing that TV on the ground.
I thought that same thing.
Like why?
There's like one crawling down the screen. He's like,
It's one of those big old CRTV,
super
whatever.
intense, like heavy, tips over.
My gosh, that was an overreaction, bro. Like, why'd you break your TV for that?
Yeah.
You know, that could have survived. It wouldn't have been a big deal.
Yeah. Then it gets real uncomfortable at this point.
This is where chaos ensues and where the heebie-jeebies come in big time.
Yeah.
Like, it just, I don't like any of this part.
This part is probably the most disturbing part.
Yeah, and he gets like trapped in the bathroom at one point.
Yeah, they all run in there.
Yeah.
And I was like, because
then,
they're crawling all down the walls and everything.
Yeah.
Just a ton of them.
And so a bunch of them leave out the window.
Yeah.
But the Dr. Jennings gets trapped in there, and these spiders start coming down from the top.
Yep.
They're all over
coming
the
out of the
walls.
sink, coming out of the drain. It's a lot.
That's the worst. I think that is the worst scene for me as far as like grossed out. Like I didn't like it.
No, that part's pretty gross.
Yeah.
That was where my wife's like, I didn't like the coming out of the drain part.
Yeah. No, that's not fun at all.
And you'd think like, wouldn't you knowing that these spiders are deadly and bite, like wouldn't you be, I'd be dressed from like head to toe, covering every bit of my skin.
Spandex.
So it's
like
just
tights.
Yeah. I'm like, it's weird that they're like, we know we're going to where it's the worst of the infestation.
I mean, maybe it was just not enough
hurrying.
time. Yeah, not enough time. You don't think straight. There's killer spiders on the loose.
Yeah.
You know. And then homeboy comes out, John Goodman goes back to his truck and he's getting ready and he's like, rock and roll, right? And he's got, oh my gosh, it's so funny. And is that the part where he starts spraying all the spiders?
It's like burning through the wood.
Acid or something. Yeah, he's just like,
yeah, and that's where the professor falls down in the web. And he's like, oh my gosh, they got the professor.
They got the professor.
Yeah. But I was terrified that he was going to die at this point.
John Goodman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like thinking he was going to get killed, but I'm glad he didn't.
Yeah, we don't want him to die.
No, that would have sucked.
And then Dr. Jennings is like all the way upstairs and falls from the banister upstairs all the way through to the cellar.
Yeah, he passes through the middle floor because of that weak wood.
And just, okay, I'm fine. But wakes up, like wigs
He's
out.
in some boxes. There's cardboard boxes.
Okay, but you fall 20-something feet.
Yeah,
that's
a long
not
ways down.
Not going to be good. But he wigs out like a psycho.
I
when he
would
gets
too,
up.
though, because it's like you just saw all those. You would have to think everything on you as a spider.
Totally wigs out, which is funny.
So the climax unfolds in Ross's basement after he'd fallen into it, where he battles the monstrous general spider and its lethal offspring. The sequence blends classic monster movie suspense with Ross's personal arc to overcome his fear. His victory isn't just survival, it's symbolic. You know, he literally destroys the thing that's haunted him his whole life.
Yeah, it's actually kind of cool when you look at it.
It's a cool end, yeah.
I didn't think about it when I was a kid, but it's cool.
No, I didn't either.
That he overcomes, like, you know, because they talk so much about, like, how he freezes in the face of seeing that stuff, before.
He like true phobia, and he did an awesome job at showing you like what true phobia is.
There's some crazy little scenes and shots in this final showdown in the cellar. Like when that one spider gets electrocuted, right? It gets thrown into the thing and just all that white goo.
It's like a Bismarck.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like a donut.
Yeah, it's just like white goo everywhere.
Doesn't he hit it with this shovel?
I don't remember.
It's cool because he's got the shovel and he's like keeps looking around like where it is. And it jumps out and he's all bats it into
That's true, huh? And then this is the thing that I always remember too was the lighter and the spray can and the torch.
Yes.
Right? So
something that you did as a kid.
Dude, I did this so many times as a kid. And I don't know if it came from this.
I don't know if it did either, but I did the same thing.
I don't know how I wasn't dead or burned alive or burned
I did it
down
a
houses.
lot as a kid. I don't know if it came from this movie, though.
I did it to spiders. I did it to bugs. Like if it was just like, okay, I got
friends.
I've got WD-40. I have a lighter. My day is good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be good the rest of the day because of this. But he starts torching everything. He's trying to get this spider and he doesn't know where he's at. So he's just like,
I love the scene because he's like laughing. He's like, he's so scared and like shooken up that he's like, and like
he lost it a little bit.
Yeah, he did.
Right?
He loses his mind.
No idea how that whole house didn't burn down.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
I know.
Right?
Especially with that wood that's like It's basically like cork wood or like what is it? Cork board
balsamic vinegar wood.
Balsa wood. Balsamic wood. It's like balsa wood, it's like that place would have been up in flames. But he's torching everything, boxes and like
doesn't matter.
All down all of his like wine cellar stuff.
Yeah. And there's some really cool stuff here right at the very end, right? As things are he ends up like falling down, he's laying down, and then you have this shot of the general just like crawling toward him. And and this is where you're like, uh-oh, his fear's taken over, he's frozen.
Yep.
Right? He's
That's
frozen.
Exactly what it looks
Arachnophobia is here, he can't do anything, and this freaking giant-ass spider is just crawling up his leg.
It's exactly the scene that he told his wife of why he was terrified of spiders.
When he was a baby. On his bare skin, he could feel it, right? But little did we know he was setting that little bastard up. He was setting him up. It was a perfect setup. He's crawling, and there's a really cool shot too where it's like a close-up of the spider's eye, and you can see his reflection.
I thought that was cool too.
Really cool shot. But
it's like that spider's arrogant. It's not gonna. It didn't bite his leg. It's like I'm going for the face.
I'm going for
teabag his mouth with my abdomen or something.
Going for the money shot, right? Yeah. He could have just bit him on the toe and been done with it.
Yeah, he would have killed him.
But he's crawling up his leg. He's like, I'm frozen. I can't do anything. But he gets to that piece of wood and just catapults that sucker right into the fire.
Yeah.
Right?
And then you think it's done.
And he's like, oh, he finished. It's all done.
And then it turns into a demon, a banshee.
Then the sound. It sounds like a gut shot pig.
And it's driving fire, like streams of fire all over.
Yeah, and he picks up the freaking nail gun, and it's like the perfect shot through the spider into the egg sac.
Yeah.
And just right.
And it's so funny that egg sac, like I was thinking, he basically put wine all over that egg sac. He was trying to burn it earlier.
He was, yeah.
And I'm like, wine, come on. Like that stuff's gonna saturate. It's not gonna even start on fire.
That flammable.
But it was cool.
It was cool.
And I like he's all nice shot.
Yeah.
To himself.
He told himself nice shot. And then Delbert or whatever gets him and says,
pulls him out.
You're welcome or something. And he takes him out, right?
But the thing that's funny is like there were so many spiders covering everything, and then they're like, "It's all gone.
It's all good now.
Like you're good. Everything's dead. They're not worried about any spiders around." I'm like, "How did they all die?"
The entire exterior of that house was covered with spiders. At one point,
and then once they pull him out, they're all good. They're like, "Yeah, he got them all. They're all dead."
Like I don't know if it was like
it's like the general dies and they all die,
like a queen bee type thing. Now they're all the drones are dead. Or whatever.
It's just like
It's
like how do you? And that made me think like through the whole entire town, you would think those spiders are still like
they're
running
everywhere.
around. They can't reproduce.
Maybe they are. Yeah. Right? Maybe they are running around where they didn't want to show it.
Yeah, I guess they didn't.
They didn't want to show the cleanup.
But thinking about it, I'm like, yuck.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
I'm sure a lot of other people died after
Just
that.
think about how much work Delbert had, though, for the next 3 to 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, that dude, billionaire.
Oh,
probably.
Just like spraying every building in the entire valley.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So then when that all settles, after the nightmare, the Jennings decide to move away from the small town life.
Screw this place.
They're like, I would too, probably.
Yeah, probably.
And so I thought it was a good ending, though. They return to the city of living, and the film closes on a humorous beat. They're sitting there drinking wine, and then they're like, "There's nothing to worry about here. The things that we can't control." And all of a sudden, there was an earthquake.
Freaking earthquake
Knocks over their wine bottle, and
I was waiting for like a spider to crawl out.
I kind of did too. It's like they're going to bring it into San Francisco.
Yeah, like one of their moving boxes. It's like, come on, think about your franchise, guys.
Yeah.
Could have been Arachnophobia too, or whatever. Was there another Arachnophobia?
I did see they had planned a scene to kind of call back the birds where they got kind of this idea.
Oh yeah.
So, but Spielberg was like, no, let's just end it how it is. Yeah. It did sound kind of dumb. Yeah. It was like they were going to pan up to like some birds on the fence or something like that.
Really?
So he was like, no, just end it.
But it's really
That's
cool.
why that guy produces movies, man.
I loved the shot of like the nighttime San Francisco, like right as they were going into this scene.
Yeah.
Really, really cool shot. But a great ending, I thought.
Yeah, I did too. I think that was perfect the way they ended it. So
that's Arachnophobia.
That is Arachnophobia. But let's talk about some of the behind the scenes and production notes. We've mentioned some of them through this, but as for the casting, there's detail that during the casting process, several prospective actors walked off the audition after they learned that they'd be dealing with live spiders. They're like, okay, I'm out.
Never
mind. And
mind.
it's funny. It's like across the board, a lot of people just wouldn't do it because of that. I don't blame them.
I don't blame them either.
Jeff Daniels, the director wanted an actor that could effectively portray a regular, relatable guy, a family man, and a doctor who also could sell a deep, crippling phobia. And I think he crushed it.
Yeah, he did a great job.
And Jeff Daniels is a fun guy. Like,
he is a fun
anything he's in, like,
Yeah.
I mean, I can't picture him in anything but Dumb and Dumber. But
that's the hard thing with me with him too. Is like,
but
that
he's
film
a very
is
good actor.
So classic. Like, I just think of I can't think of anything else
I know.
when I think of him.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's true. It's not even this movie, right?
No, I don't even think of this.
And he was known for like his dramatic roles and comedy, so they knew they were like, this would be a perfect fit for the type of movie we want.
He could
We
do
want
both.
a horror comedy.
You know, I think would have been good in this too is somebody like Michael Keaton or something.
Yeah,
Like, he would have done a good job.
he could have
as
done a
well.
good job too.
Yeah.
And then John Goodman's role, the part of the eccentric exterminator Delbert McClintock, was originally intended for comedian John Candy.
Oh, he would have been great.
He would have
too,
been
dude.
great. However, Steven Spielberg, who was executive producing the film, was keen to working with John Goodman after their collaborative work on the 1989 film Always.
Oh, he was in that? I can't remember that
Yeah,
movie.
he's the one pilot.
Oh, is he? Okay.
That
I haven't seen that in a long time.
Richard Dreyfuss like puts his flame out and dies.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, John Goodman's great in that.
Oh, is he?
So I didn't realize it came out before this. So, and Jeff Daniels claimed that he was fine with the small spiders. He acknowledged that anyone in the right mind would have issues with spiders as Big Bob, which is the big spider.
Yeah.
And he even said he had struggles with it during some of the shots where they're like, well, let's get him closer to his hand. And he said it would like rear up and hiss sometimes. I'm like, no thanks.
No.
I don't think I could have done that.
No.
Arachnophobia was a long developing project at Amblin Entertainment, the production company founded by Steven Spielberg, Kathleen Kennedy, and Frank Marshall. It marked Marshall's directorial debut. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
He'd been successful with
Yeah.
other films like Poltergeist, The Goonies, Indiana Jones.
He'd done a lot of producing, and he actually like a lot of second unit directing for stuff for
Great
Steven Spielberg.
movies, great
Yeah.
experience. So he did.
Yeah.
I thought he did a great job.
Yeah.
They wanted it to be more of a fun roller coaster, like it was going to be darker and more horror. And they did base a lot of it off from Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. Kind of makes sense, you know.
It does,
The
yeah.
element is very similar. The original script was reportedly much more straightforward horror film. So that's interesting that they made it into a better movie, I think.
I think so too.
For the opening sequence, which takes in South America, we talked about that it took like a lot of work and a lot of time. The photographer has been. Wait, where did I get this? Yeah, this was just a part I was going to mention about how much work went into that first like 16 minutes of the movie of like traveling in there and having to set up base camp. And they said that they stayed for weeks, had like a survival camp, only would get like one single shot a day.
Yeah.
So it's just a lot of work. The spiders were actually super interesting because, you know, I would have never thought like, oh, there's spiders, like getting them killed during shots and all that. They didn't have any problem with that, but they did. They like took into consideration people that would be, you know, barking
Upset
about
about
them hurting any spiders. So no real spiders were actually killed by the production, which
That's
is
insane.
super crazy.
Yeah.
So they actually did this little spider tryout to figure out which spiders to use in this movie. They called it the Spider Olympics, where they'd have like how they reacted to hot and cold, their speed of running and climbing, to make it obviously something more terrifying, something that's quicker and a little more disturbing to film than just like a regular dandelion.
Yeah.
Dandelion. Daddy long leg.
Daddy long legs.
I don't know why I said dandy long leg. But yeah, so obviously they did find a really creepy spider, but it was a spider from New Zealand, so they had to ship in like 300 spiders at a time for these shots.
There's another horror movie, whatever airplane was hauling that many spiders. Think about it.
Yeah.
They get loose on like snakes on a plane, spiders on a
Seriously.
plane.
And then even the scene when Delbert squashes the bug, they had a special boot and dummy spider, and then they used like mustard packets to make the squishing noise, but they didn't actually kill a spider during that scene.
You can tell because they cut very strategically.
Well, it's like gack that he stepped on too. It's
Yeah.
like the juicy,
I
like
know.
the slimiest spider.
Yeah.
The live giant spider used in the film was a species of bird-eating tarantula, which can attain a leg span of 8 inches or more. So it's a big sucker anyway.
Yikes.
It wasn't quite big enough for what they wanted, though. Like they wanted it even more intense, and so they actually put a little prosthetic abdomen on it to make it even bigger.
Oh my gosh!
And then they painted stripes on it to make it more like, like a really rare species.
Wow!
So I didn't know they did that, which is kind of cool. And then they created the little animatronic spider that was used in the climax, and this was actually done by Jamie Hyneman, which is in MythBusters. Like he's the co-host. I didn't know
the
that.
guy with the mustache.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So this is like one of his better works, like or bigger works. Is he developed this 15-inch monstrous spider to be used in the movie, which is pretty cool.
They're big, man. They were huge. Yeah, they were really big.
So crazy. I thought this was interesting. In the summer of 2018, it was reported that Amblin had partnered with producer James Wan and his Atomic Monster banner for a remake of the 1990 film. So they'd planned it, and they were set to reproduce the movie. Christopher Landon, which is also, what's his name from Little House on the Prairie's son?
Oh, Michael
Landon's son.
Oh, interesting.
That does a lot of horror movies. I didn't know that.
Huh.
He was scheduled to, or he was basically going to be the director, but there was some creative differences, something that he didn't, and so it fell apart in 2022. But it was getting close to being produced, which is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, of course, we don't have any new ideas. Let's keep rehashing the old ones.
I wouldn't have been super thrilled about it, but
would have seen it.
I would have
probably.
seen it. I would have seen it.
So let's talk about our favorites here,
Yeah.
Cam. Favorite scene, favorite character. For me, after watching it again, I mean, it's so hard not to like Delbert. Like, it's just so hard because he's just the character that sort of lets you breathe a little bit.
He
sometimes
creates the movie into what they wanted.
Yeah,
if it wasn't for
sure.
him, it wouldn't have worked very well.
And Goodman, he's just fantastic in everything. So I had to go with Delbert.
I don't blame you. That's
really
a good
hard.
one.
And as far as my favorite scene goes, I really don't know if I have a favorite scene throughout this, but I just wanted to mention how much I loved the vibe, the way, like something to me, especially in a lot of horror movies, like the thing I really like is the atmosphere and the vibe that they sort of, build throughout. Yeah. And they did a really good job of like making this sort of like small town cozy vibe throughout the entire film. And that's the thing that to me felt very Spielberg-ish.
Yeah, that's true.
That small town
does make sense.
Kind of cozy, secluded.
Feels more relatable.
It feels more, it feels like, oh, this is weirdly comforting for some reason. And even though like there's all these spiders, but I also do love like any story that is like a small secluded town versus whatever. Whatever it is, right? And so this definitely had that. And so to me, it's more of like not scenes, it's just kind of like the vibe and the feel and the atmosphere, which is usually like the number one thing that I like in a movie is the way I kind of feel when I'm watching it.
Yeah.
And so
it
to
makes
me,
that's
just
what
big.
you said. Yeah, I think it does a great job of that. I'm gonna give it like Jeff Daniels is probably my favorite pick just because I think it would be so hard as an actor to try and really portray a phobia without being over the top, being ridiculous about it. He does a good job. Like when they have to capture the one specimen and he goes up against the wall and he's like, you can tell it like really, I think he does a great job of that. And so I think he's believable as a doctor and like a family man, but also he shows that true fear and that phobia super well. So I think he did an awesome job with that.
He did a fantastic job.
As for my favorite scene, it's probably the Venezuelan like jungle because it's so cool.
The opening scene.
Yeah. Like crawling down in there and
It's
the
great.
weird species and the spiders clunking down in their little.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
It is creepy. Great. I like it.
It's time for the Raised by VHS Top 5 list.
All right, man. So we decided let's talk about, since we're talking about comedy horror movies or doing a comedy horror movie, why don't we talk about our top 5 comedy horror movies?
Which is crazy because I think this is my favorite type of movie.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's my favorite.
For you, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd say it was mine.
No, it's definitely not yours. When you look at your top like 4 on Letterboxd, it's not.
Mine's a lot more drama.
You're more like drama, action, epic.
I like
type.
drama.
Yeah. So, but
this is your favorite. You think?
This is my favorite.
Okay.
If you
I
look
thought you were
at
talking about your favorite type of horror movie, but you're saying in general, your genre. Yeah.
My top 4 movies, when you look on Letterboxd, is like the Monster Squad, the Lost Boys,
Yeah, mine are
Signs. You know what I mean? Like, and again, those are those.
Yeah,
types
this isn't
of,
my first choice. No, I agree.
Those are those types of movies that have that vibe and that atmosphere.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So,
That's cool.
So do you want to
go? Let's hear it. Yeah.
Want me to go first?
Yeah, let's hear your
All right.
number 5.
My number 5 comedy horror movie is Gremlins.
Yeah, it is kind of comedy horror.
It's
I thought
100%.
about that too.
It's 100%
like
comedy
pretty
horror.
Funny.
Like this is
It's pretty ridiculous.
Oh, so ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's
This
so
is Spielberg,
ridiculous.
right?
It's I don't know if
No.
it's produced or something.
Isn't it Amblin?
I think so.
Okay.
In some way. I don't think he directed it.
Yeah.
But I think he produced it.
Sure,
I'd
he
have
had
to
a
go back
hand
and
in there.
look. Yeah. So this is an 84 film. Again, sort of almost like a Christmas movie in some ways, but kind of scary.
I thought about this one and I didn't put it in my top 5.
Well, that's
but
all right.
It was in there. I liked it.
They're all going to be different.
That's a
but
great one though.
it's
That was
a-
a hard one to not include in this.
It's a fun one.
That's why I'm like, I don't know that I would for sure say this is like rated all the way as my all-time favorite,
Sure.
but at the time, this is what I'm going to say.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
I did Scary Movie 3, so there's a lot of them, but
Oh,
the one with
okay.
Charlie Sheen, I don't know why, it freaking cracks me up.
Oh, right.
Like,
I've never seen any of
because he
those.
does the part on Signs,
Oh, does he?
and when he like shows up and he's like, you know, your wife's dying.
Oh.
He's like, how much time do I get with the bottom half?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like
Yeah.
super inappropriate, stupid stuff.
That's
but
funny. I've never seen any
it's
of the
funny.
scary movies.
They're not good, but they're funny. They make you laugh.
Yeah. Okay.
My
What's your
number 4, Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead. Okay. Yeah, that's
I
a great
like
movie.
that one.
It's
That
a
one
great
was
movie.
fun and like Simon Pegg's awesome. Like
Mhm.
he's always good in most of it, like everything I've seen him in. So that one it's a fun watch
Boy.
and one I can rewatch. So
That's a good one, man. That's great. I mean, it's one of the greatest zombie movies, especially the comedy zombie
Yeah,
movie. There's
yeah.
no better.
yeah,
Right? Great. My number 4 is Ghostbusters.
yeah.
Oh my
I
gosh.
figured your Ghostbusters were gonna be on there.
It's one of the greatest movies of the 80s, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Freaking everything about it
Yeah.
is so good. So I had to have it on my list somewhere.
It makes sense.
That was my
It's a
number 4.
great pick.
Yeah. So my number 3, The Burbs.
Oh wow, number 3.
It's number 3. Yes.
Number 3.
Yeah, you thought it would be higher, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah, and this has changed a little bit over the years because it used to be my favorite movie of all time, but it's sort of moved around
Yeah.
over the years. But this is one of those movies I can rewatch 1 billion times and get something good
New.
out of it.
A new quote. A new
quote,
anything. Yeah.
A new little movement from Tom Hanks or just something from
Yeah.
Rick Ducommun. You know, I love. And again, this is the feel of this movie, the atmosphere, this little, you know, cul-de-sac in this
Yep.
town and some weird shit's going on. I love it. The Burbs.
Yeah, that one's great.
Mhm.
That's your number 3.
That's my number 3.
My number 3, I don't know if you've seen this. Maybe
Mm.
I would think you have, but Army of Darkness.
Army of Darkness. I saw it a long
So
time ago.
Evil Dead
Yeah.
3 is what it is. But
Mhm.
dude, Bruce Campbell is like one of my favorites.
Is he?
He's hilarious.
Yeah.
And so I watch this show a ton just because it's so over the top and it's like
Mhm.
some of the gore is just extreme.
Yeah.
And then a lot of stupid stuff happens during it. So it's funny. And
Yeah.
it's one of my favorites. So
It's one that I haven't seen since I
Yeah, I
was
love
a
Army of
teenager
Darkness.
probably. But yeah, it's great. That's your number 3?
it's my number
Or
3.
how about your number 2?
My number 2 is Zombieland.
Oh, yes.
I love Zombieland. man.
Zombieland is
That's probably
fantastic.
my favorite zombie comedy, like horror movie.
Dude.
Then Shaun of the Dead.
Woody Harrelson is
Dude, he's so good in it. Some of
He's
the
so
stuff
amazing.
he says, you know, you're a spunky little. Just like,
Yeah.
it's great. So
Yeah.
it's one I like to watch each year
Mhm.
during Halloween, and it's freaking hilarious.
Oh,
It's one you don't even have to wait for Halloween.
No, you
it's
just watch
super
it anytime.
funny.
Yeah,
So
that's a great one.
that's my number 2.
My number 2 is The Monster Squad.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean,
I knew that was in there somewhere.
Yeah, it's just again one of my favorite movies of all time, and
It's
again,
been in your So I was just introduced to it last year. So, but I
yeah.
did really like it. I can't believe I missed it.
That's one of those things that unless you probably got it when you were like 8,
Yeah,
like
that makes
I
sense.
did.
It's a cool movie as a kid. I'm sure.
My gosh, if you haven't seen The Monster Squad, it's time to go do it,
Yeah.
people. My number 1 comedy horror movie of all time is The Lost Boys.
Yeah,
I can't. I mean,
come up there again.
so freaking good.
Uh.
2 Corys, Kiefer Sutherland. One of the greatest soundtracks of all time. One
Yeah.
of the greatest horror movies of all time. Obviously, the greatest comedy horror.
It's on your
movie.
letterbox.
It's on my letterbox. So that's it. The Lost Boys.
that's a great one.
Mhm.
Mine's The Burbs.
Okay, yeah. There you go.
It's one I watched with my dad growing up, and like Kobe and I are huge fans of it.
Yep.
Like, and so it's my favorite. So.
Nice. Well, that's great. We had
Those some really good movies.
We had very different.
I thought
lists,
we were way different there,
which is great. Which is what I love, man.
Yeah,
I love to have those lists that are like different like that.
I do too.
So.
Thank you for calling the VHS Conspiracy Hotline.
Man, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best part about it.
Best part about it. Yeah.
So there are some fan theories. There's a lot of weird ones. The one that I thought stood out the most, which makes the most sense to me of why people might believe this, is that the spider in Arachnophobia was actually of paranormal or supernatural origin.
Well, I could see that because, boy,
something was weird about it.
It spreads its seed real fast.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And does some crazy stuff.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
So the theory suggests that the spider infestation was not merely a natural phenomenon, but it was a deeper, more unnatural cause, possibly involving supernatural elements.
Ooh.
The theory suggests that the infestation was not. I doubled that up. The viewers sometimes debate that the film's artistic license regarding the spider's aggressive behavior as hive mentality.
Yeah.
The film explains this as the result of hybrid species, but some fans believe that the spiders are controlled by some unseen force, like perhaps a hive mind with higher intelligence.
Well, that makes sense. Just like we were talking about at the end of the movie. It's like, what happened to all the other spiders? Well, maybe there was this unseen
It's
force
just like shut it all down.
that died with the general.
Yeah.
Right?
It does seem like always when there's like South American and Indian tribes involved, it's like there's some spiritual element to it.
For sure.
Other fans propose that the general carried not just its venom, but a spiritual or mystical curse from Venezuela.
Yeah.
This curse would explain the spider's unnaturally organized hive mind-like aggression, which defies normal biologic behavior.
I get that.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of cool.
That's a
It
great...
sounds pretty cool as a spin-off.
For sure.
You know, there was some like the web or something cool like that was controlling everything, or beyond the web, or there was another one like the unseen thread. I thought was cool sounding.
Oh yeah.
So
I'd watch that.
This was a little more supernatural, the way this spider acted and behaved. It's like something was behind this thing that isn't a natural biological spider.
I like that. That's a great
it's
little,
cool.
little conspiracy for that movie. Like it.
The Raised by VHS movie memorabilia inferno.
I feel like I'm playing a pinball machine.
I know, it kind of does feel like that, doesn't it? So this is the part of the podcast where the other person gives somebody a present based on
I'm hoping
the
it's
movie
Pet
pick.
Spider.
I had a couple, but I squeezed them accidentally. So unfortunately, that didn't work out. But I got you two little gifts
Tickets
here.
to Venezuela.
Tickets. I freaking wish. So this is an official promo button from Hollywood Pictures.
Man, I don't know how you find this stuff.
Back in 1990.
The dude with the tude. That's awesome.
Isn't it pretty rad? So I thought that was kind of cool.
Man, that's really cool.
I just love those like actual
stuff that was then.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you can't get anymore.
And this other one,
but you can't.
Yeah,
like they don't produce it anymore.
This other one's really.
Yeah, there's even got a little rust on it.
I know.
It's old.
That's spider goods.
That's cool.
That's spider goods right there, boy. This other one is something I've never seen before, but I found it and I thought it was kind of cool. So Japanese theaters back in the day used to produce these things, and they called them chirashi.
Sounds good.
It's delicious. You're gonna love this, but it's a small postcard-sized like flyer that was given at the theaters at the time when the movies were out. So this was made back in 1990 in Japan.
That's crazy.
And so a lot of people would keep them. They were like really cheap, and they were just kind of given away at the theaters. But you could pull it out of that
that's
thing.
Pretty awesome because we were just talking about how cool the art is on Arachnophobia.
That's what I was saying. Like the art is freaking awesome on that.
It's all in Japanese. That's pretty awesome.
So, anyways, that's
cool. I didn't know they even did that in Japan.
I didn't either. It was something that I found. I'm like, man, that's
pretty good.
Pretty darn cool looking.
Really good.
Yeah. So
that's cool.
That is the movie memorabilia.
Add to the collection.
Yeah, heck yeah. So Cam, let's get to rating this bad boy.
Yeah.
What's our late fees for this?
Out of 100, again, don't get caught up in the dollars.
Yeah.
But I gave it, so I knew right away before I even rated it after rewatching it that I was going to rate it in the 70s.
Sure.
Like it stood out that much to me as a kid, and remembering it, it's a movie that sticks out in my mind. So I gave it that. I gave it a 70.
A 70.
So
nice. $70 late fees for Cam.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen it for a few years. I figured I was going to be in the 60s somewhere.
You did.
Yeah.
Already knew that, huh?
Already knew that. And I did end up in the 60s, but very high 60s. I gave it $69 late fee, which is really funny because we ended up within one on this. So the Raised by VHS total late fees is $69.50 for Arachnophobia.
I think that's fair. I mean, isn't that what the IMDb was 6.5?
Oh, yeah, it's probably pretty close.
It's nearly the same
to Metacritic or IMDb, I think. But a great movie, obviously not in like our top tier list.
No,
in any way,
but
shape, or
fun,
form.
and one that like I know it comes out on Tubi for Halloween.
Oh,
it's
it
already
does.
Halloween, so you should watch it this month.
Yeah.
It's free.
Oh, you definitely should go watch it.
Yeah.
Anyways, that is Arachnophobia, and that's another overdue rental, Cameron. Thanks for listening to Raised by VHS.